Tuesday, May the 10th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I am meteorologist Matthew East here with you, and showers and thunderstorms in the forecast as we go through today and into tonight, and some of those storms could very well be severe. In fact, a decent little severe weather threat as we go through this afternoon and into this evening. Let's get right into the radar imagery this morning, and all is pretty quiet over much of the southeast this morning. It's like a summertime radar with all the ground clutter around all the various NEXRAD sites, the fairly humid air mass in place. And what should happen later on today is probably a cluster of thunderstorms develops up here somewhere around the Ohio River Valley and then drops southeastward into parts of the Carolinas. Currently, you have the flood products continuing for the extremely swollen Mississippi River, especially parts of the Ohio River, and that high water working its way down the Mississippi and heading its way down through the Memphis areas, heading in the general direction of New Orleans. Big-time flooding problems along the Mississippi River. Here's the temperatures this morning. It is, again, like a summertime morning back here in parts of the plains and into the deep south. A lot of 70s for current temperatures. And there's a frontal boundary that lies really right about through there. South of that front's the very warm, muggy air. And those thunderstorms that will develop will ride southeast along that front. So there's the day one convective outlook, and we'll focus here on our region. Your broad slight risk, that's your standard severe weather risk, but let's get into the specifics. This is the tornado probability for today, and the SPC is listing that 5% tornado probability for western North Carolina down into central South Carolina. There's your wind probabilities, 30% in that same area, and hail probabilities, broad 15%, but you do have a hatched area where there is at least some potential for maybe some 2-inch diameter hailstones. It's the upper level setup for today, just that broad northwest flow aloft, steering anything that develops upstream off to the south and east. And then an unsettled deal this weekend. I want to give you a sneak peek at that. That upper level low pivoting close by, and that's going to probably give us some pretty good rain and thunderstorm chances through the weekend, and some of the models really do some weird stuff with that upper level low as we get in early next week. In fact, a lot of the models try to cut this off in this general area, which would give us kind of a maybe an occasionally rainy scenario early next week. But let's focus on today first. Here you are on the GFS. This is the afternoon and early evening precip, and then there's the evening into the overnight hour precip fields. The Canadian, fairly similar as we get into this evening. And then this is the European for this afternoon into the very early evening hours, and then there's the evening time precip. European a little bit farther east than some of the other modeling. Let's see here. Let's go to one of the composite indices here. This will be the Craven Significant Severe Weather Parameter. This is, again, a combination of some of the severe weather indices that we like to look at, kind of combines them together into a composite index, and pretty high levels there in terms of that Craven Significant Severe Weather Parameter popping up over there over parts of North and South Carolina. And so I think what we're going to be looking at is certainly with any of the storms that develop, and this would probably be Greensboro, Charlotte, and points west. We'll say Greensboro, Charlotte, Columbia, and really anywhere in South Carolina is fair game, but in North Carolina, Greensboro, Charlotte, points west has the highest chance of severe weather today. And we're looking at certainly a large hail threat, the chance of some damaging winds, and can't rule out an isolated tornado or two either. Now tomorrow, we're still going to have that frontal boundary around in a weakened fashion, and that'll be the case tomorrow and to tomorrow evening, so probably along that boundary, a few more thunderstorms popping up. And same deal on Thursday before things get unsettled for Friday and the weekend. This is the GFS on Friday. There's the European on Friday. And again, depending on how that upper level low behaves, could be some pretty good areas of rain and storms around at times, at least over the weekend. All right, so that is it for today. Thanks for watching today's edition of the video. Have a way of hearing watches and warnings. There will probably be some required coming up this afternoon and this evening in parts of the region. And of course, we'll keep you up to date here, as always, on News 14 Carolina. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.